first obvious thing to note is that I'm driving on the left. We drive on the left. I think Japan drives on the left too, maybe India. I think most of the world now, Australia, most of the world drives on the wrong side of the road, in my opinion. Turning right, so turning right is very different because obviously we're crossing paths of traffic. So it would be like a left turn at a T-junction. There's a give way sign there. Give way is the same as the American yield. So I'm going left here, which is much less problematic than turning right. Any signs you see like that one just means that there's a staggered junction. So you can see there's a road on the left and then there's a road on the right. That's just to let you know that there's two roads that are coming onto your road, but they both should yield. Speed camera. Everywhere in England you're going to find these, everywhere. They just check your speed, those ones, as you go past the camera. And for this road it's a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit. So if you're doing more than 30, it will take a photo, which will have your license number on, your number plate, and that will be sent to the police, I guess. Right, this is a big one, a mini roundabout. So a mini roundabout is not like a normal big roundabout. It's basically just a junction with a circle that's put on the road. Now the rules for a mini roundabout is what's important about it, because you give way to anyone crossing your path from your right. Now the key here is crossing your path. If they're on the right and they're turning left, they're not going to cross your path. If they're on your right and they're turning right, they may cross your path, but they may just sit there because they're waiting for someone to cross from their right, or it could just be that they're just dithering and they don't know what to do. So obviously, common sense, it's not worth sitting there waiting if they're not going to go. You find this even in England, people that have been driving for years, they will sit there just because, well, because they think that they've got is another mini roundabout. So we do have quite a lot of these. So this guy here straight in front of me has to stop for me because I'm on their right. But yeah, quite often people will sit there because there's someone on their right, but that person isn't going either. So you could end up with all three or sometimes four people just sitting still, nobody going, which is a pain. Another mini roundabout, okay, but here there's nobody on my right, so I'm just carrying on straight, so that's absolutely fine. A lot of times with mini roundabouts, you can generally get across quite quickly. And I think that's the idea. It does make junctions a little bit safer. So where you would normally have a normal T-junction, for example, they'll put a mini roundabout in just to make it easier and safer for people to get out. Another mini roundabout. I didn't plan this route deliberately for mini roundabouts, but you can see the sign, that blue circle there with the arrows on. So the guy in front of me stopped because the red car there was turning right, this black car's turning right, so we have to stop for them. Other than that, they're all going straight, so we can carry on. So that's mini roundabouts. Oh, there's another one. Okay, so this I think is the last mini roundabout for a little while. So I'll look to my right, there's nothing coming, and even if there was, that van would block them. Okay, so now we've got a normal roundabout, and I know America doesn't do roundabouts, does it? So this roundabout, I'm going off to the left, it's the first exit, so I'm signalling left right now before I approach, so everyone knows. Obviously I just slowed down to let that van because he was already there, so we do have to yield. Now this road is 50 miles an hour, so we can, I can put my foot down a little bit. The rules are in England, you stay on the left unless you're overtaking. You can't really drive in any other lane, but people do. And I used to be a driving instructor, and all of my learners will tell you that I absolutely hate anyone who sits in a lane and doesn't overtake. Even like I taught my ex-wife to drive, and I taught my cousin, my niece to drive, and they will all say, if I'm in the car with them, they'll say the thing that I used to say to them. If there's someone sitting in the right-hand lane who's not overtaking, they'll say, "Who are you overtaking?" But just to themselves, they won't it's not a road rage thing. Okay, so we're coming up to a normal set of traffic lights. You can see there's 3 lanes. I'm going to eventually be turning right, so I'm going to sit in the right-hand lane. The left turn here is left turn only, as you can see by that sign. Excuse me. Traffic lights are everywhere, the same as, well, actually probably worse than speed cameras. But obviously they serve a purpose. They can be for traffic or they can be for pedestrians. Our lights change differently. When we go from red to green, it goes from red, then it goes to red and amber together, and then it goes to green. Now, legally, you're not supposed to go until it's green. Most people will go as soon as that amber light shows. But again, legally wise, no, green means go. Anything else means stop. Green means go. You can see another camera here on this one. This is a traffic camera light. So if you were to go through a light and it was on red, then you would get points and a fine. Another roundabout, this is a little bit bigger. I'm going off to the right, so I'm in the right hand lane, signalling right. Lots of traffic on there, so we do have to yield to the traffic on the roundabout. There's a gap coming up though, so at least one car should get out. Actually, I think I'm going to get out too. So yeah, we're fine here. So I'm taking the second exit. Now, this is another thing that people don't know about. There's 2 lanes coming off. I can use either. But because there was a car beside me, I stayed to the right and used the right hand. But just be sensible, have a look around, just see what's what. This road is still 50 miles an hour. This is quite a nice little road. It looks nice to me. We're right beside a place called Gloucester Park. Nearly all the major sort of roads like this have cycle lanes. So you can cycle along the cycle lane quite safely. And even where you get junctions like this roundabout, what there is there's underpasses. So you'll see on the left there that there's a fence. You can see it goes down and it goes underneath the roundabout. This roundabout here, I'm taking the first exit, so I'm already signalling in left-hand lane, coming out, and I believe this road goes down to 40. We've got a temporary traffic light. Pain in the arse. Right, you can see here where the people are standing. That's just an island. You don't have to stop for them, whereas this here, we call it a zebra junction, black and white stripes. If there's anyone standing on, or like with even just as much as a foot on that, you have to stop for them, you have to yield and give way. I'm pretty sure that's really different in America, because where I've seen films of people, Lewis Rosman is one of the things. I think I've followed him for about 6 years now. And he does quite a few driving ones and cycling ones. He's got an electric bike, and it seems there that it doesn't matter if people are standing on the zebra. You keep going unless there's traffic lights telling you otherwise. There's another zebra junction, a zebra crossing. Sorry. So mini roundabout now. Looking to my right, there's absolutely nothing there, so I can turn right here without worrying about the cars on my left, because they will have to give way to me. They will have to yield to me. So that's sort of an example of why mini roundabouts can sometimes be really good. There's a perfect example. Look, see, so I have to stop for her. She'll probably say, there you go. I was just going to say, she'll probably say thank you, because generally that's what we do. That's what we do in England. Even though by law we do have to stop if they're on that crossing, we still like to say thank you. And you will generally see another speed camera on the right, but I ain't got to worry about that one because it's not for my direction of traffic. So generally in England, I suppose the UK, but I'm only talking about England, we will generally thank people for stopping, even though they technically have to. So all the way along here, you're noticing these little islands on the right in the middle of the road. These are pedestrian crossing places, but we don't have to stop for them. Now coming up is the A13. It's a big main road that goes into London, and this is the whole reason of this little bit of the video, because let's get around here. So we've got the two roundabouts first. The first one I'm turning left, but it's the second junction, so I'm staying on the left. There's a ton of traffic going to pass me, so I'll wait for that. I hate that I keep saying all the time. I do it more since December, since my issues. I think that my brain struggles to find words. It fills it with or it fills it with a stammer. This roundabout I'm turning right, so it's the fourth exit. There's nothing coming to my right, so everyone else has to yield to me because I'm on the roundabout. If I'm on the roundabout, they yield to me, and that's normally the rule. Not always though. There are some roundabouts where you have to give way even if you're on the roundabout. So now I'm going off to the right. This time it's the second exit, and we're going to be joining the A13. The first thing you'll notice here is a national speed limit sign, the white sign with a black diagonal cross, and underneath that there was like a red cross. I think it was a red cross circle. That's saying no stopping, so you're not allowed to stop. If you break down, you break down, but generally you're not allowed to stop on this. So joining this, obviously we're getting that speed up. I'm up to 55, 60. There's nothing coming, and I will go round these cars because it's national speed limit now. So I can go to 70 miles an hour. So on any English motorway, any English road at all, the most you can do is 70. It's not like autobahns in Germany or freeways in America. I think freeways are 85. Autobahn is no limit as far as I'm aware. So you can literally just put your foot down and go. This is 70, and obviously I'm completely sticking by the rules. I wouldn't dream of doing anything more than 70 miles an hour. Now I've passed some cars that are going a little bit slower, so I'm going to get back over to the left, because unless I'm overtaking, I should be in the left. Anyway, I'm coming up to some more slower traffic, so I'm going to move over into the overtaking lane. It's not the fast lane. This is another thing that people say, oh, it's the fast lane. It's not. You can do 70 miles an hour in either of these lanes, so there's not a fast lane, but there is an overtaking lane. So I'm overtaking. Now this guy's pulling over. Oh, okay, I didn't see that black car, so I didn't realise. In England we have a saying, only a fool breaks the 2-second rule. So you should be able to say that between you and the car in front. So as he passes, let's say this arrow here that's on the road, I'm getting close now though. So only a fool breaks the 2-second rule. So you can see that I'm more than 2 seconds away. Now we've got lots of lanes, we've got extra lanes, so this is the new bit of the road that's been done. So I need to be on the left. I'm not overtaking anyone. It's 50 miles an hour, and I'm doing 50 miles an hour. So now the question that anyone who I've taught to drive will know that I'm asking myself, or asking of these drivers here, who are you overtaking? If you're not overtaking someone, why are you sitting in that lane? Now, okay, now I can see that lorry in front, so I will need to move over because I'm going to be overtaking him. But you don't go into another lane, or you shouldn't go into another lane unless you're overtaking. And it is illegal to overtake on the left in the UK unless you're sitting in a queue of traffic. So if you're in a queue of traffic and your queue is moving faster than the one on your right, then yes, by all means you can pass a car on that in that direction. So yep, they all seem to be going a bit slower now. It's funny how traffic does that they all sort of seem to stay. They're like sheep and they stay in herds. So I'm getting past. Obviously I'm just at the speed limit because I wouldn't break the law, and I definitely wouldn't break the law while filming it. So this is a new stretch of the A13. It's lovely. It's so nice. Once this gets open to 70 miles an hour, it's going to be amazing. So So anyway, look, I'm getting back now because these cars are all doing about the same sort of speed as me. So I'm not going to go past them, I'm not going to be overtaking them. And that one as well, I'm going to move over. So this is where you should be, okay? If you're driving in England, this is where you should be, unless you're overtaking, or unless the road signs tell you that perhaps this lane is for left turn only. On most big roads like this, there won't be a right turn unless it sort of splits off separately way before the junction. So you leave the junction on the left, and on English motorways as well, you leave the motorway on the left. You'll never turn right onto a motorway. So now we've got the national speed limit sign again, so we can speed up a little bit more. I'm not going to do much more on this road because you've seen pretty much all you need to do, all you need to see. So I am going to turn off here, and I think I've made a massive mistake, because normally at these roads there's a roundabout. As you come around the corner there's a roundabout, but I've just remembered because this road takes me to Tilbury, there isn't a roundabout here. This is another main road, so this goes to Tilbury, which is where the docks are. It's still national speed limit as far as I can see. I have to join the road, but I've got plenty of speed. I did pass that lorry, I don't know if you saw it in the camera, but I was on a separate road then, so I wasn't technically undertaking. But yeah, so this is a big boo-boo. Although it's not like, because English roads are nothing like main roads, especially in America, I'm only going to be about 2 or 3 miles out of the way, out of where I wanted to go. So I could go a little bit faster now. I'm only doing 55 and it's definitely still 70 because you can see that national speed limit sign there. But I don't know where my junction is, so I'm going to stay as I am. Okay, so there's a junction there, an exit there in half a mile. Yes, we use miles in England. We don't use kilometres. So most cars, or all cars, will have miles per hour on them. They might also show kilometres per hour, but we use miles, and all the laws are set in miles an hour. And I believe actually that the weights of food and stuff are going to change back to imperial measurements, which is really cool because we'll go back to pounds and ounces, which is what I grew up with. Although saying that, it's not what most sort of younger people than me grew up with. They will know kilograms and grams. So I've come off here just because I'm pretty sure there'll be a way to go back to that road as we go around the corner. That I'm hoping. I think I made another mistake. Oh, for crying out loud. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do a U-turn. I don't know why they're going so slow. Okay, we have I just don't know where I'm going to go. I'm going to turn right here. There is a car coming from my left, although the right's clear. So after him I'm going to go. And you didn't see me do this. There wasn't actually a sign there saying no U-turn, so I'm going to leave that in. It was a bit sort of naughty just because it was a T-junction, but there was nothing there to say that we're not allowed to do that. So I'm hoping now that this will join back onto the A1089. Oh my god, it's the same direction. Okay. Okay. Roo's a bit of a dipshit today. So basically I've come onto the same road thinking that there may have been a loop around, but there is a roundabout coming up which will definitely take me back the way I came, back towards the A13. In front, I don't know if you can pick it up, but you can see some of the docks, the cranes and stuff that they use. We've got a big Amazon site here. This is one of the bigger ones actually. There is another one in Basildon as well, but it's a much smaller one. But this is like one of the really major ones, and it sort of makes sense because, say, we've got the docks here, and it's really well served by trains and stuff as well. Although I don't know if they've got freight trains coming this way. I guess they must do, but different times of the night. I've gone into this lane because this lorry beside me is literally... Oh, okay, that's fine. There was a lorry and he was actually passing me on the left. And he was getting closer and closer and closer to me. So although that area was hatched and I shouldn't have gone in there, as I said to you, because it was a broken line, I can go in there. I had no choice. That was it. I had no choice whatsoever. I had to go into that lane. But common sense prevails. Everything was fine in the end, although the lorry driver was a complete twat. Right, okay, so we're back on the road to the A13. I'm not going to be overtaking anyone for a little while. Oh, yes I am, because it's gone back to national speed limit. So in England, lorries can't do 70 miles an hour. Lorries are restricted to 60 miles an hour. And anything pulling a trailer, so even a car pulling a caravan or a trailer, they're not allowed to go to the national speed limit of 70. Their national speed limit is 60, so you get different speed limits for different vehicles. But we can do 70 now, so let's have a little bit of a cruise. Normally I'd have music on while I'm driving, and I'll be singing like a nutter. But because of YouTube's copyright laws and all that lot, I'm really not sure if I might get in trouble for doing that. So on that sign there, you can see it said Southend on the right hand lane. So this is one of the times where I will go to the overtaking lane, because now it's not really an overtaking lane at all. This lane will carry on straight towards the A13 Southend, which is the direction I want, whereas the left lane goes to the A13 Dartford. I did years of training to become a driving instructor. I passed the exam to become a driving examiner, and nowhere did I see anything that told me that there's different speed limits for different lanes. You can see I'm catching up on a lorry. Do you call them trucks? So I'm going to need to get over to pass him. You can't see what I'm doing when I'm moving lanes, but there's checks. But obviously, if you're driving 20 miles an hour less than the speed limit and you're in the overtaking lane, then it makes it a bit tricky, because people may decide to pass on the left, which is illegal, but people will do that because they just want to go faster. Some people will just go faster just for the sake of going faster, and there's really no need for it. But hey, I'm not going to preach to anyone, because I've done it. Everyone's done it at some point or other. Everyone has passed traffic on the wrong side, on the left, because it's holding you up. So I'm getting over now. You can see all the traffic in front is pretty pointless. I'm not in a rush. As you know, I'm semi-retired. Well, no, I'm not semi-retired. I'm early retired. So I don't have anywhere I need to be, other than back at my PC, back at my MacBook, because I've got some editing to do. I found some videos taken from my birthday when I went to see Level 42 in concert. So I'll be putting those up. You'll probably see those before you see this, because they're just simple cuts. I literally just have to trim them to size and then put them up. So they'll probably be up tonight. As I record this, it's Tuesday, the 9th of August. So I will probably get this video up in about 2 days. Because I'm just not good at editing, and I literally have to watch something to be done as I'm doing it. It doesn't go into my brain anymore that I remember what I need to do. A cut edit is fine. Again, it's something that I've seen from years and years before, and things that I saw years and years before are all still there. Hey, don't you just love the human memory? So you can see a warning here, queues likely. This is basically bit of road. That's absolutely lovely because it used to queue there as well. But now all it's done is it's moved the queues further on. I'll talk about the reason that that road was built. And it wasn't to do with traffic management. It was just to do with because there's a cruise terminal now, and they don't want people that are rich and wealthy or whatever having to sit in queues of traffic before they get to their cruise liner. So they built that massive great road, and you notice it ends at the junction where the cruise terminal is, where the cruise terminal junction is at least. So that tells you everything. You know, they've not done it up here where the traffic's bad. You know, they've just kept it as it is. Although there probably, I would imagine, is room. But hey, you know, the powers that be always will put the wealthy before anyone else. Anyway, back on track. It's me. So I'm going to film right up until I get home, just because I'm nearly there now. So this is my junction, the A132. Although it's an A road, it's a minor road. It's not like this. This is an A road where there's multi lanes. There are quite a lot of A roads in England that you may think were an A road would have to have like 2 or 3 lanes, but no, not always. So I'm just going to go back road way back home. So I'm going to go right at this roundabout. It's the 3rd exit. This is quite a busy roundabout. Oh my god. I was just going to say this is generally a busy roundabout, but it's not. So remember in England, I'm on the roundabout, and this is one of the roundabouts where everyone has to give way to me. I'm going to be coming off at the next next exit, so I'm over to the left lane. He chose to stay in the right, which is absolutely fine. As I said to you before, you can use either lane. At this mini roundabout, I'm going to be turning right, but we do have a zebra crossing. Nobody's about. Even if there's someone on that island in the middle of the zebra crossing, if the zebra crossing is a straight line and they're standing on that island, you have to stop for them. Now, if the zebra crossing is staggered and they're in the island, then you don't have to. But as I said to you, generally, English people are quite polite, and we will stop for people that are waiting to cross. And generally, you'll get a wave to say thank you. This is basically just the back of a big shopping centre, so this is the back of Tesco's. I'm going to go left here, first exit. At the top of this road there's another mini roundabout, but just before it there's a zebra crossing. Now he's doing exactly what I would have done, and letting the people cross. I can't go anywhere, so I'm letting them go. She'll probably wave to say thank you. She can go as well, because there's nowhere I can go. So what's the point of blocking up the road if I can't go anywhere anyway? So left at the mini roundabout, and then I'm basically home.